Max Verstappen, a name synonymous with speed and precision, took the 2023 Formula One season by storm. From the first race, Max demonstrated a masterclass in driving, showcasing his skill and Red Bull Racing's technical prowess. Throughout the season, Verstappen racked up an astonishing number of wins, consistently outperforming his rivals on various circuits. Fearless, uncompromising, and above all, blindingly fast, Max Verstappen is a Formula One phenomenon who seems almost genetically engineered to be a racing driver. He was catapulted into F1 at just 17 years old and immediately proved himself up to the challenge. Incredibly, he became a race winner barely a year later. This is the story of how the Flying Dutchman progressed from a karting rookie to a world champion. His journey began even before he was born. His mother, Sophie Kumpen, was highly successful in karting, competing against drivers like Jenson Button and Marc Genet, while his father, Jos Verstappen, was an F1 driver himself for almost a decade. Once Max was old enough to start competing on the track, he quickly proved to be a natural. He started karting at 4 and competed in his first race at 7, facing rivals as old as 11. It didn't matter. He won anyway. This victory was not the last time the precocious young racer would prove that youth and inexperience were no barriers to success. He continued to rack up victories and titles, and at the age of 15, he became the youngest driver ever to win the Karting World Championship. After securing 2 victories in the Florida Winter Series, Max Verstappen made a bold leap from Formula Renault to Formula 3, bypassing the usual progression. This daring strategy paid off as he racked up a record 10 victories, narrowly missing out on the championship title. His rookie season was marked by spectacular performances that drew widespread attention. The racing world couldn't wait any longer. Verstappen skipped GP2 and joined Toro Rosso in 2015. At the season opener in Australia, he set a new record as the youngest driver to compete in Formula One at 17 years and 166 days, shattering the previous record by nearly 2 years. His entry into motorsport's top tier at such a young age sparked controversy, even among his peers, due to his youth. Although an engine failure resulted in a did not finish, DNF, on his debut in Melbourne, he bounced back 2 weeks later in Malaysia, finishing in 7th place and becoming the youngest ever Formula One point scorer, breaking the previous record by over 2 years. Throughout 2015, Verstappen secured 9 more points finishes, dispelling any doubts about his readiness for F1. His outstanding performance earned him the Rookie of the Year title and the Action of the Year award for his impressive maneuver against Felipe Nasr at Spa. In this memorable race, Verstappen daringly overtook Nasr around the outside of Blanchimont and held his line into the bus stop chicane, showcasing his bold and skillful driving. His career continued to ascend rapidly as he was promoted to the senior Red Bull team just 4 races into the 2016 season. As the music played, a Formula One narrative unfolded, celebrating a meteoric rise within the sport. Just 2 years after starting as an F3 rookie, he had secured a seat with one of Formula One's top teams. This trajectory was underscored by the domination of Mercedes, with Lewis Hamilton and Nico Rosberg typically leading the pack, until the Spanish Grand Prix, where Max Verstappen, qualifying 4th behind his new teammate Daniel Ricciardo, faced an unexpected turn of events. Both Mercedes drivers crashed, opening the field wide. Verstappen seized this opportunity, adopting a different strategy than Ricciardo, and took the lead. At just 18 years and 227 days old, he won the Grand Prix, becoming Formula One's youngest ever winner. This victory, part luck due to the Mercedes crash, was contrasted by his skillful performance at the wet Brazilian Grand Prix later that year. Despite a late pit stop dropping him to 14th place with 16 laps remaining, he showcased a mastery of wet weather driving, surging back to finish on the podium. Verstappen's prowess drew comparisons to legendary performances by Ayrton Senna and Michael Schumacher, marking him as a formidable talent in racing. By 2017, Verstappen had accumulated 2 more victories, affirming his rising status in the sport. In 2018, Max Verstappen faced a challenging start to the Formula One season, finding himself caught up in incidents during the first 6 races and crashing in practice at Monaco. This crash forced him to miss qualifying, despite being a favorite for pole position. Questions arose about his aggressive driving style, even drawing concern from his own bosses at Red Bull. Despite the hurdles and the first signs of his momentum potentially stalling, Verstappen displayed no self-doubt. He publicly dismissed suggestions to change his approach and focused on the races ahead, confidently managing to turn his fortunes around. During the same season, he claimed a 3rd place in Canada, followed by a 2nd and a win in subsequent races. By 2019, he secured his maiden pole position at the Hungarian Grand Prix, thrilling fans and marking himself as the 100th different pole sitter in the sport's history. Despite Mercedes' dominance, Verstappen won 3 races in 2019, Austria, Germany, and Brazil, underlining his status as a top contender. The COVID-19 pandemic in 2020 delayed the season's start, but Verstappen still managed victories at Silverstone and Abu Dhabi, setting the stage for a strong 2021 campaign. That year, Red Bull provided him with a competitive car, and he took pole position in Bahrain, followed by a close battle with Lewis Hamilton. Their rivalry intensified, leading to several on-track clashes, including a notable collision at the British Grand Prix and another at Monza. The tension peaked at the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix, setting up a dramatic showdown in Abu Dhabi, where the championship was decided in the final lap, with Verstappen seizing the title from Hamilton in a heart-stopping finish. After his intense 2021 season, Verstappen's 2022 campaign started shakily with 2 DNFs in the first 3 races. However, he quickly regained form, dominating the season with 10 wins in 14 races and clinching his 2nd world title after a commanding victory in Japan. This triumph was less dramatic than the previous year, but no less significant, cementing Verstappen's place among the sport's elite at just 25 years old. His meteoric rise from a young karting enthusiast to a multiple world champion underscores his potential for further success and record-breaking achievements in Formula One. Verstappen's performance in 2023 was nothing short of historic, setting new records and further cementing his place among F1's greats. His partnership with Red Bull has proven to be one of the most formidable in the sport's history. His aggressive yet calculated driving style allowed him to dominate races, often leading from pole to finish. Experts agree that Max's success is not just due to his exceptional driving skills, but also Red Bull's relentless innovation and strategy. The team provided him with a remarkably fast and reliable car, tailor-made for his aggressive racing tactics. One of the standout features of the 2023 car was its aerodynamic efficiency, allowing Max to push the limits in corners while maintaining top speeds on straights, a crucial advantage in tight contests. As we look forward to the next season, one thing is clear: Max Verstappen is at the peak of his powers, and the sky is the limit. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more thrilling F1 content.